Well, if you're anything like me, you like to buy old junky things and have fun, fix them up, play with them. If you're watching this video, you're watching it for a reason. The reason is you got rust in your fuel tank. These aren't plastic tanks, these are metal tanks. They've been sitting for a long time. You know, this is off an 84, this is off an 82, and there is rust in here. Gotta get rid of that rust. To do that, I'm gonna show you exactly what to do. Why do you have rust in your tank? Well, because your fuel has a tendency to collect, especially now, because it has ethanol in it, has a tendency to collect water. The water sits in there. If you store it and the tank isn't full, there's moisture in there just from the environment. Sometimes you're outside, you're fueling it up, and then maybe a little bit of rain, a little bit of drizzle. Sometimes you're playing in the fun, in the water. Water leaks in around the top of the cap here, the vent. All kinds of reasons why water can get in there. But we're here to fix that. And what we're going to do is we're going to use apple cider or cider vinegar. We're going to pour that in, and we're going to leave it in there for probably 2 days. Now that's not a bad thing because I'm waiting on 2 carburetors to come in. So, you know what? It gives me a little bit of time to do this. Make sure your petcock is closed on the bottom. I'm going to pour that vinegar in. I couldn't find any bigger jugs. This is all I could find at my local store. You're going to need this apple cider vinegar or cider vinegar, and you're going to need this apple cider vinegar, and you're going to need distilled water and baking soda. The distilled water and baking soda is what you're going to use later on to basically neutralize the acid that's in this vinegar. You can actually hear it working in there. Let's see it sloshing around. That stuff is going to eat that rust. I'm going to use all 4 in here. It's smelly, but it's good. Now remember, all you guys running fuel in these machines, don't use ethanol blended fuels. But if you have no choice, make sure you run a good stabilizer in it, or ethanol neutralizer. Get some Shelburne fuel products. That's what I use in everything now. That's it. That's going to be good. Basically, one of those. Coat everything up. Don't leave the vent closed because pressure is going to build up in there. Leave it open a little bit. I'm probably going to shake this up a couple times a day. Let everything do its action. And we're going to do this tank, and I'll be back in a short while to show you what to do next. All right, a couple days gone by. Let's check inside here. Looks pretty good. Just going to shake it up a little bit. The rust kind of dissolved and sort of stuck to the metal a little bit, just like a bit of a slurry. Boy, that cap cleaned up just perfect. Wow, like new. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pour it out. We're going to take a look at what came out of this. Nice. Look at that stuff. Wow. That's looking pretty darn good. Since this apple cider vinegar is basically a mild acid, we need to neutralize that. What we're going to do, we're going to use some baking soda and some distilled water. And I'm just going to add a bunch of this. And then we're going to pour it in there. We're going to shake that up. get rid of all the excess, and then we're going to take a look and see how clean that is. It's going to be pretty handy too because I just bought a new battery for the three-wheeler, and I'm going to get to use it and use this solution to neutralize a little bit of leftover battery acid. You've got to make sure this is all cleaned out. You don't want any kind of nastiness rolling in through your gas tank. I'm going to use some compressed air, dry this out really well afterwards. So as you can see, that distilled water with the baking soda came out of there pretty nasty. What I did was I put some more baking soda in, and then I took it to the hose and I really rinsed it really well. You know, the inside of this tank looks like it's a galvanized type of material. So it's come out pretty well. Let's take a look. Well, I'm very happy with those results. You know, not too bad. There are a bunch of kits on the market. You could put all kinds of things in. You put rocks in, you shake things up and whatnot. But that apple cider vinegar works just great. I've got another tank to do. I'm going to do that. I got to thank you guys for coming. Make sure you wear your safety glasses throughout most of this, especially when you're using the compressed air. But for the most part, it is vinegar, so it's not probably near as bad as your shampoo that you use at home. Now, one thing I'm going to do, I'm going to leave this tank in the hot sun for a few hours, make sure all the water is out of it, and then I'm going to put this Shelburne fuel stabilizer in it. It's got an ethanol neutralizer, and it also takes care of water and fuel. So that's going to go in there. I'm going to play around with this. I see that the little filter membrane more or less has come off inside the tank, so I'm going to fix that as well. Thank you guys for coming. Make sure you check me out on Facebook for cool giveaways.